get to it though, man. Family Room Podcast. See, last one was 75. Last one was episode 75. We said it was 76. This one is 76.
Oh.
I was looking at that. We had 70.
I thought it was said 75 on there.
Whatever we said, it was wrong.
Okay, yeah. But you fixed it on the words, so
yeah.
Okay.
This is episode 76. I'm Mike Brown.
Jesse Williams.
We got my guy Trevor, man. He was on the podcast a while back on like episode 30 something or 40 something. Mm-hmm. But you back now, man. We gonna have a good time today, man. What you been up to, bro?
Man, same stuff, different day. Trying to, make it in this crazy world, crazy times.
I heard it, man.
We're gonna talk about a couple of those crazy times.
Absolutely. How you feeling, Triz?
Oh, I'm good, man. Another week out, another weekend. You know what I mean? All money in. You know how I do.
Hey, brother.
Yeah. How about you?
Brother. Oh man, it's been working, bro. Bro. I messed trying to get more strict with Baron. You know what I'm saying? That nigga crazy. Mm-hmm. Trying to get more strict with Baron and buckle down in that regard. But other than that, everything been the same, man.
He's smart.
Working kind of slow. He is smart.
How Max doing? Max getting bigger or?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. That nigga don't stop going. I'm feeling like that's why I'm glad you said that. I forgot to say. I feel like my kids like Derek more than they like me now, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're the cool uncle.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. As soon as Derek come home from work, they go right in his room. They don't give my nigga a chance to catch his breath or nothing. They go right in his room. All in his face. They love Uncle D. They love their Uncle D.
That's what's up.
It's dope. Yeah, I love to see it. It's dope. But yeah, man. Everything been the same for me though, man. Everything been the same. Work been kind of slow, so I just been going a little bit harder with the homeschooling. You know what I'm saying? Since I've had more time, I haven't been editing as much. So yeah, that's all I've been up to though, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah. We definitely gonna talk about what are you still in school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you already working like in your field, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So we definitely gonna talk about that because you work in tech. Mm-hmm. I definitely want to know about about a nigga working in tech and how that could be. You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to talk about that. Matter of fact, let's open up with that. So how is it you being like? Because I didn't know. I knew you always kept like really good grades because I knew like who some of like your mentors were like in high school and like as far as hooping and all of that. So I knew you always kept really good grades, but I didn't know you were into until like maybe like your junior year, senior. I didn't know like you were into like tech and that you were gonna be studying that. Mm-hmm. So what's it been like? So what's your major?
My major is computer information systems.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So I was fresh out of high school. I started as computer science. I kind of have a funny story. I started as computer science when I went to Chico. Mm-hmm. My sophomore year, they have these things inside your academic portal where it tracks the credits you've accumulated so far, and it basically gives you a percentage of how close you are to finishing your degree. Yeah. And so, sophomore year, my second semester of sophomore year beginning, I was like 52%. So pretty much on track, maybe a class ahead, right? Mm-hmm. But I woke up one day and I was just like, I was not feeling it. I was like, this is not it. This is not what I want to do. Because the computer science side is more like really in depth into sitting in front of a computer, coding, getting a problem, coding that problem, and giving it back to who it needs to go back to, and that's that. Mm-hmm. And I kind of was just like, that's not really what I want to do. Mm-hmm. It's too, like boring, and there's no interaction. Mm-hmm. I'm more of a, even though I like being on the computer, I like to interact with people too. So I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm switching. I'm gonna switch. So I studied a bunch of different majors and I found CIS, which is pretty much the bridge between a business and tech. And so that's what I'm pursuing my degree in. And then when I graduate, I'm gonna get into cybersecurity. And I want to work with businesses to show them where their network is vulnerable at and how to, better it so that they don't get. Because right now, I think 1 in 10 businesses get breached a day. Dang. And so what hackers will do is they breach their system, encrypt everything, and put a message up. I know a business that this literally happened to. Put a message up and say, send X amount of dollars in Bitcoin or send by your files. Mm. That happened to Target. Probably a couple years ago, happened to Target. Their system was breached, and all their people that had credit cards there, their numbers were stolen. They had to pay bandigas.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
So that's what I want to do. Yeah. So, but in regards to being a person of color in tech, it's a trip for sure. It's a trip.
How so?
Just because it's not the normal. You know what I mean? It's not something normal. But what's funny is, so I just started a new job. I work for the city of San Marcos. I work in IT for the city of San Marcos. And when I walked in, my coworker, who's my counterpart, who we're in the same position, he's black. And I was like, oh, for sure. Like, what the fuck? Let's run it.
That's dope.
So it's cool to have someone kind of have your, like, not have your back, but like, we're here. You know what I mean? We're here, and the people we help, you know, they respect us and stuff, and so it's cool to, you know, not be the only one, I guess you could say.
I feel it. So as far as like with you being into tech and like doing all that type of stuff, do you keep up with like the whole like the music part of tech and like streaming platforms, like how all of that stuff works and all that? Are you into that or not?
Yeah, for sure. I use Apple Music. That's the streaming platform I use. A lot of the homies use Spotify. I only use Apple Music because I get it cheap for. I mean, I think Spotify does a thing too for students, but it's cheap. But I just had Apple Music for so long that I just never really switched over. But yeah, I for sure. And I have homies that like do music and stuff, and you know, they put their stuff on streaming platforms. So I know a little bit about like the monetary distributions and stuff, which are crazy.
We're gonna have to talk. Yeah. We're gonna have to talk then.
It's ridiculous.
We're gonna have to talk then. I'm already, well, not that I'm saying I'm already knowing, but I know it's a lot of money. Of course, nobody really knows how much. We just know it's a bunch. You know what I'm saying? But
it can be a lot, depending on the streams you get, for sure.
Yeah.
You that's the main thing, you gotta get plays. But I gotta look more into it. But I heard the one Tidal. That's Jay-Z's, right?
Yeah.
Tidal. They pay the best. I heard. That's what I heard. I gotta look. Like I said, don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. I heard that. Or I know that Apple Music and Spotify, it's like, Apple Music is the worst.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's ridiculous.
They're like the Walmart, the McDonald's. They're like
the
big place that like they get to make the rules and do what they want. But no, it's a perfect segue into Jay-Z actually just sold a majority stake in Tidal for like $297 million to Square.
Really?
Sold it to Square.
Wow.
Man, let me see. I gotta find that link now. Dang.
Probably to invest in his new endeavor, right? Did you hear about that? He's allowing people to build allowing minorities to build their credit up with subscriptions to like stuff like Netflix and streaming platforms. Wow. That's sick. Sick as fuck.
When I first just saw the headline, I was tight because I was like, I like telling people like, oh, like you like supporting black owned, but you don't subscribe to Tidal. Like they're just playing with people like that. And I like that there's like the fact that there was a black owned streaming platform. Yeah. And so when I saw that he sold, I'm like, and knowing who he sold it to, is like it's not even black owned no more. But knowing like what the end goal is and what they're trying to do is it's extremely noble in my opinion. I'm trying to find it. Let me see.
Jay-Z's that guy.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's that guy. Like from a businessman standpoint, like influences, I guess, like him, and I like Master P.
Oh, for sure.
You know what's true about Master P? I'm not trying to like knock him or anything, but it's kind of ironic. Is that fool owns? I don't know the name of it, but that fool owns majority, if not all, of the cell phone software that they use at jails to collect calls. He owns that shit.
Jay-Z does?
No, Master P.
Wow.
Isn't that a trip?
That is a trip.
It's kind of weird.
That's a smart business move.
It is smart, but
I don't know how I feel about it.
Me neither. That fool owns that, bro.
Because on the one hand, it's like, I mean, if a business gonna be open, I might as well get some money in there. But on the other hand, it's like
your brother's in prison for life.
Yeah, you're making money off the calls he made.
Right. It's smart, but it's like
Jesse's a capitalist for sure.
No,
I wouldn't do it though. I wouldn't do that.
I'm not mad at somebody being a capitalist.
I'm not mad at it either, but I would make changes.
Yeah.
Can they talk for longer? As someone that knows, what a collect call is like, can you make it longer?
So the owner of Square, this is what he said about
the payment of it, the cost of it. You know what I mean?
The owner of Square, this is what he said about buying a Tidal. He said it comes down to one simple idea: finding new ways for artists to support their work. New ideas are found at intersections, and we believe there's a compelling one between music and the economy. I knew Tidal was something special as soon as I experienced it, and it will continue to be one of the best homes for music, musicians, and culture. See, the one I read earlier, it talked about like exactly like how it was gonna help like the artists continue to have like retain ownership and like do other things too. I was trying to find that, but no, like it's again, I'm gonna sound like the Jay-Z apologist every time he do something. Like, no, it's a good move. It's a good move. But it sounds good. Like I said, I don't like that Tidal's not black owned anymore. I don't like that. But it sounds like he's still trying to help. Yeah. You know, the little guy. Or like
he sold
creative.
Majority, you said. Mm-hmm. So he'll still have a little bit of saying at least. That's cool. Yeah.
And then we didn't talk about it last week, or did we? He sold Ace of Spades to Hennessy.
Yeah. I saw that. Saw that.
He out here getting to that coin, man. Yeah. It's like it makes me think like 2023 or 24. Like
he got some big
play. That's what I was about to say. It seems to me like he has something that he needs to focus on. He needs to get rid of some other
endeavors
that are
or he's trying to get the money together to go make a big purchase. Like he want to buy a sports team or something. Yeah. But that doesn't make sense either because he has Rock Nation Sports, and if he owns a team, he can't represent players. Mm-hmm. That's why he sold just a little piece of the Nets. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it makes me feel like he got a big play coming up for sure. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah. We shall see.
Nigga running for president, he need that capital. He need that capital.
The fucking campaign money.
Yep. You ain't voting for him? He run? I'm just playing.
I was about to say, let's not even start talking about that right now. Let's not even start talking about that right now. But now, speaking of politicians, y'all see that Governor Cuomo got himself in trouble? Sexual harassment, man. Accused of sexual harassment with 2 former aides. One aide, Charlotte Bennett, said that the governor complained of being lonely and asked her if she slept with older men.
What?
Hey, what is the deal? What is the problem with men who are men in general, but especially men at a higher level in society that feel like they have some type of like superiority over people, thinking they can just do whatever they want?
I think they either have so much power they feel like they won't get in trouble, or these are the dudes that didn't get no girls growing up, and now that they have power, they trying to
or money with both power or money. Yeah,
I think you're on the money with
it's both. Like I feel like that's why a lot of the police be out here throwing their weight around, throwing their power around. They was losers in school.
Oh, for sure.
Not all. I don't want to make all the police officers upset, but I feel like a lot of police officers were didn't have really nothing going on, got a badge and got a gun, and now they somebody.
No, 100%. And I think that you're on the money with back in the day. They were squares, or whatever. Because listen what he said. Mm-hmm. I'm lonely.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Mark, are you serious?
Sure. I'm lonely.
Come on, my G.
Have you ever slept with an older guy?
Like what?
What? What kind of
straight creeper? Mark? That's on the money.
No, that's facts.
But
I'll never be like. That's one of the things I'll never be able to understand is like being like doing something creepy like that, thinking that's gonna get you a girl.
Right.
It's like on the one hand, it's like he it must have worked for him before. That's why he's still doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But on the other hand, it's like that creepy shit really be working.
And then, but on the flip side, it worked for him.
I don't think it works. I think all of that creepy shit is followed up with I got this amount of money.
Yeah. I think that.
So the creepy shit gets dismissed. That ain't what works. It's the money part.
Exactly. I think that ties in with his place.
Yeah, his status.
Power, exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's for sure the only reason. I mean, look at him. Like, not being mean, but like, look at him. Like, you know, but whatever.
He said, "Are you lonely? I'm lonely. Get out of here."
That's crazy.
Lonely.
And it's him. It was Cuomo and it was Newsom. Two when the pandemic first started, they was like, these dudes so presidential. Mm-hmm. They should run next time they get a chance.
I was say Newsom got
him. I thought he was too. I ain't gonna hold you. I was about to say what?
Already on thin ice with the freaking state of California. He's done.
Yeah, he tripping.
Yeah, but speaking of governors, what's up with my guy in Texas, Mike?
What's wrong with him?
Why you open shit up? He's trying to get back to the money, man.
Oh, I did see that. And he was going to take away the mandate to wear masks.
He did.
Oh, he already did all this?
Texas is completely open.
Again?
100% completely open. See your boy Josh Hart quote his tweet? He's a dumbass. the governor of Texas said, I've opened 100%, or not verbatim, but he said, I opened Texas 100% and, oh yeah, masks are done, or whatever. Yeah. And Josh Hart quoted, he said, dumbass.
Because didn't he do it before, and that's the whole state spiked up in COVID tests?
Yeah, or they were like not taking it serious. I mean, Arizona, a lot of those states were, but yeah, I don't know, it's ridiculous. I feel like people are getting too too complacent with like the thought of the vaccine being our savior and stuff like that.
Because you can still get sick.
Johnson & Johnson, y'all finna get it?
Not the J&J, but my work is damn near making me. Not making me, but they're highly suggesting it.
They're pushing it on you. Yeah, I mean, if it came down to my work making me do it, then that's a different story. But I'm not finna just go get it on my own. I don't even get the flu shot on my own.
Same. Because I was thinking, so I was like, man, I ain't getting that. But I just got the call and got the email from KUSI because football season started. So they're like, yeah, PPR is coming back. And I was just thinking right now, I was like, dang, like, what if they make niggas get a COVID test? And I was like, I'm going to get it because I can't turn that work down. You know what I'm saying? And I was so anti-vaccine, but I mean, if it mean I can get some money, then I mean, hey.
No, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah, my mom works in the medical field, and she already had both of them. And her second one did her dirty. She was hurting.
Yeah,
she was hurting, but she was.
That's what I've been hearing. That second one a doozy.
Yeah, she's straight now, obviously.
But Johnson & Johnson supposedly only got one shot, right?
Yeah, but it's less effective. I think it's like 77% effective, something like that. But the only thing I'm thinking of other things too. It's like, are they gonna make you show like a vaccine record when you want to go somewhere, like to travel?
To travel,
I'm gotta take it.
Don't you have to do that right now to travel?
I'm not.
You have to show that you have to.
Right now,
because I was supposed to go to Cabo, and in order to go, you have to show that you had your vaccine within the last 10 days. And in order to come back, you have to wait 10 days.
You know what? I think you're absolutely right because my parents are going to North Carolina at the end of April, and they said something about that on like the airline thing or something. Damn.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go to Rosarito like in spring break, so.
Yeah, hopefully it's everything different by then. Because I'm not trying to go to have my vacation and then stop and then quarantine. And then it's going to be up to y'all to let me get on this plane and come back. Fuck that.
Yeah.
I don't need Texas. I'm trying to go to Illinois. It's a town in Illinois dedicated $10 million to black people for reparations, or for African American residents for reparations.
Yep, it's gonna be.
That's crazy.
$25,000 disbursements.
I need that.
20. How many black people's in Illinois?
So check this out. It's not Illinois. So this is I don't have a problem with it, Mike, at all, obviously. But this is my thing. The town is called Evanston, right? The city is called Evanston, and I looked up, and their African American population is 18%, and they're giving it to Evanston. And I'm pretty sure you have to put it towards housing. I'm pretty sure the disbursement has to go towards housing, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, reparations was always 40 acres and a mule, so it wasn't like you just got bread. It was like you got land and transportation.
100%. But why not? Why are they? What is it? Like, have you heard of Evanston?
No.
Me neither. Until I looked it up.
No.
You know, it's like Illinois. When you think of Illinois, you think of Chicago,
Springfield.
the people who need it the most. Why aren't they getting it? So you gotta look into that.
I think it goes down to the people who running these cities and towns.
100%.
It's probably some black people. See, that's what we need to look up. It's probably some black people that's running
the mayor of
Evanston.
I bet you look at the mayor of Evanston, they're probably black, or they're down with
to get down.
I was just saying, you know how like the whole world is copycat, right? And I should have said copycat, but me and wifey was talking about that, and I was like, see, I hope that make all these other cities and states monkey see, monkey do. She was like, that's not, don't use that phrase. I was like, what? Oh,
Mike is Evanston.
I wasn't even thinking about it. I wasn't even thinking. I was like, yeah, copycat's better for that one.
Hey, that'll be love. Hopefully, shoot.
Man.
And you know what they're getting? How they're getting the money is they're putting a 3% tax on legal marijuana sales.
That's how they're getting extra bread.
That tax money is being used as reparation.
I like that. I like that.
Me too. I love that.
Yeah, that's good.
And out here,
what y'all doing with 25 bands?
Getting the house.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting it towards the house.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
That'd be lovely, but
Right. I might go somewhere and try and get one built. Start the grounds on that.
Right.
Get that land.
You have to find the land in that town.
Touche.
I wonder if it's like, if they were to do it here for it to be like San Diego County, because you could for sure get something cool like in like a Fallbrook or something.
Yeah. Oh, you can find something out here.
Fallbrook is tough.
Yeah, who's the
yeah, you gotta go to Fallbrook or Santee.
Yeah. Be like, damn.
Hey, I'll fuck with Valley Center. I'm not tripping on Valley Center.
Before Fallbrook or Santee, but I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to Valley Center. Valley Center cool though. Isaac used to live in Valley Center.
Yeah,
it's cool.
It's
cool.
Yeah,
it's gotten better.
But yeah, that's cool. That's what's up.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Right, that's what's up, man.
Shit. Let a brother hold something.
Yeah. I need to knock something in Evanston down there.
This is stupid.
What you say?
I need to knock something in Evanston. Set my Tinder location.
That's it.
Set the location.
Go ahead and marry one out there real quick.
I'm gonna get a piece of that.
Like, you know what? We ain't had a single nigga on the podcast in a minute. How you enjoying the single life, brother?
It's cool.
You like it?
Yeah.
Cause I always been saying. I mean, I love being single. I was not looking. I'm happy, obviously happily married, but I wasn't looking to be in a relationship when I got in one. You know what I'm saying? I was enjoying being single. But I always say though, if I were single today, it's the wild wild west out there. Though.
It's a different ballgame for sure. And I was just talking about this with the homies because both my like super super close homies are single, and we were like, man. Now that things are kind of getting back to normal, we're just, keeping our we're following the rules or whatever. But it seems like COVID been having people going crazy because they're out.
They're out now.
Definitely out.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
It's cool.
It's cool.
But yeah, it's cool. I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes like it does get exhausting. I guess you could say like it does. It gets tiring of like starting over, but then again, if you're not even looking to start nothing, then you'll be all right. But if that makes sense.
No, for sure.
Like getting to know someone, and then getting to know, and then 2 months later you're getting to know someone else, and then you're like, gotta figure this person out.
No, that could be exhausting.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And then you get to the step where you possibly meeting the families. Like, how often are you doing that? No, I'm not saying you personally.
Oh.
No, my bad. I didn't mean that personally. I don't give a shit. I mean, like, you're saying for your theory of how exhausting it could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Then you got to put on a front like you actually like this girl. No, I'm just playing.
Trevor's
hey, it happens sometimes.
Nah, but it's, I don't know. I think the biggest thing about being single is setting boundaries. Like, as I don't want to get too much into this subject.
Nah, go ahead, man. Give it up.
But, okay, look. How do I word this? So, as long as you're setting the correct boundaries and being like 100% with a girl you're, you just talking to or whatever, then really she don't have no other choice but to, respect it. You know what I mean? They're gonna respect you more if you're, 100% say, hey, look, I'm doing this, and that, messing with Jane, Jan, and freaking Mary, than if you're lying about it, right?
Yeah.
Like I got homies like. We
make a choice.
Yeah, we tell them straight up like, yeah, like this is cool and shit. And I fuck with you tough, but don't get it twisted. Like it's probably not gonna go anywhere further than us doing this, that. You know what I mean? So you can take it or leave it. And the one thing, and I'm just gonna touch this briefly, but the one thing that, in my experience, and what I've seen that I think girls think, like one thing about girls is they always think they'll be the one to change you. They always do. Was that controversial?
I like where you're going.
Keep going.
I'm just saying.
I'll tell you
this straight up. This happened to my best friend like a week or 2 weeks ago. He was messing with this girl from up north, right? They were talking in school or whatever, and she was coming out to visit him every now and then, right? And he told her from the jump, we're not doing it. She said, okay. Right, real pretty girl, really, really pretty. Probably used to having dudes at her feet. But the homie keeping it player, like, I'm telling you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the last time she came out, she said, I'm gonna come. She literally told me this. She was like, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna make you fall in love. If I don't, then I don't even know.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like she literally thought. So he told her 2-3 months ago that she was never gonna do this, and now like 2-3 months went by and she hasn't seen anything go her way. She's like, I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean when I say they think they're gonna be the one to make you fall in love.
Yeah, going after being told something different.
Right. And it's like they're still like hard at it. You know?
Good luck with that.
But maybe that's
do dudes do that or do only girls do that? Do guys be trying to change a girl?
I think guys do that shit too. Hell yeah. I don't know if they be necessarily trying to change them, but they might be like, "Oh, I'm wearing you down." You know what I mean? Girls will be like, "Okay, I got a deadline, and if it don't happen by this day, then I gotta move on."
Yeah.
Dude, he might be pushing that for 2-3 years type shit. Like, you know, today gonna be the day.
Persistency, because that's just the biological nature of a man. A man is a hunter, right? So yeah, well,
I mean, man, go ahead.
I mean, that's not
at all.
Nah, all right. So look, this is what I've learned,
bro. When this is done, anything you want cut out, we can cut it out.
Nah, I'm kidding. I'm not tripping. So this is what I've learned is the makeup of a man, majority. Okay, I'm not gonna generalize anybody, but the makeup of a man is he's a hunter. That's how we've always been since the beginning of time. That's what men did. They love the chase, right? I've been in situations, homie, where I've been trying to knock a bad one, just super, super righteous, bro. And just the thought of her saying, this might sound so fucked up, but just the thought of her saying yes to a date, that was enough. And I would never talk to her again. And like, I would never go on the date.
Yeah.
And that's like the fucked up thing about men. That's how men are. Motherfuckers might be mad at me, but I'm just milly enough to admit it.
Yeah, that's
like, and say that that's how we think, and that's how I think. And it's like, it takes the right one to like really change you, right? But that's the makeup of a man. So how you said a girl might try she tried 2-3 months, and you're absolutely right. I know dudes that tried 2-3 years to get a girl, and they finally got her, and just do her dirty, right? Yeah. Just off the strength that he finally got her. The chase was super fun, super, you know, it had his blood rushing, and now he got it. He's
want to keep chasing somewhere else.
He wants to do something else, exactly. So that's why that shit is crazy. That whole relationship talk is crazy. Yeah, but you know.
I like
you have any input on that, Mike?
No, he's like, yo, don't leave me out here.
I know where he at. What are you doing?
Help me out, Mike.
I agree.
Nah, it's 100%. I mean,
I said we was gonna stop saying that, but no, when I was single, like it was for sure about the chase. Like the chase was like and I think that's for most people. I think that's the fun part of being single. Yeah. There's some people like, and it's not putting them out there. Even he would tell you like there's some people like my brother Stefan who was never like the dating type. He was like, I'm looking for one girl that I want to date, like for long term. I'm not finna be dating, like, you know what I'm saying. But some people they like to date, and they like the chase, and they like the fun of it all. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely like that. That was me for sure. For sure.
Let me ask y'all this: do you agree with this statement? Okay, I've heard this statement before, and I want y'all to put. Majority of men want to sleep with 100 different girls one time. A woman wants to sleep with a man one time 100 times.
One man 100 times.
Oh, one man 100 times. I'm sorry. Majority.
Generalizing. That's probably true.
Generalizing, yeah, I agree.
But you got Amber Rose and Kim K.
That's my point.
And even the classy, you got Amber Rose and Kim K, and then the classy way to do it of Lori Harvey, who out here like showing these chicks like it's a better way to live out here. In their opinion. But yeah.
But
yeah, and they're opinion 100%. And I respect it if a human, regardless of gender, wants to do it 100 times with 100 different people, I don't trip. It's like whatever. You know what I mean? It's whatever.
Do your thing. Be safe.
Exactly. Be safe. I mean, you know, it is what it is. And if you want to do, you know, stick with one person the rest of your life, that's cool too. You know what I mean? But I just want to see what y'all thought. That's cool.
Yeah.
He said that's cool, man.
Nah, I really be chilling, man. Like, I don't know. I just be thinking about this stuff all the time though, because it seems like relationships are such a big like topic. That's something that's never gonna like, something that people are never gonna completely agree on. That's something that's never gonna be completely figured out, because just our makeup is so trip, bro. It's a trip. So that's why I enjoy talking about that, because it's a good topic.
And what I've seen lately is but what I've seen over years is it's relationships are conforming with society norms. You know what I mean? That it used to be two different things at first, but now it's all blended in one on what a theory of a good relationship goals. Like, you know what I mean? You're basing your relationship goals off of somebody's picture.
Exactly. 100%. And that's
you don't even know what's going on behind the scenes of that picture.
Yes. And that's another thing I was going to say about, real quick before we move on to the next topic, about how you said, you know, when you were single, I'm not trying to age you or anything, but it was probably before like all this
social media times.
And another thing that will throw salt in your game out here, bruh, is the Meg Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's, the City Girls. Man, let me tell you, bruh. Hey, every girl is like, it thinks that that's real. That's not real.
It's not real.
That's not real. Okay? It's not real. I promise you it's not real. Like, the shit that they're saying about, like, it's not. You have a girl and a woman, a successful woman. I like Cardi B. She's sick. You have a woman in Cardi B who is being cheated on nationally and taking her man back. That's her decision. That's cool. Like, whatever. It's probably a lot of things going into that we don't know about.
Right.
But on the surface level, she got cheated on. She did. 100%, right? That's a fact. And she took him back. That's not what she raps about. But you're living your life off what she raps about. That's not real. She's rich off that. So of course she's gonna say what she needs to say. She's filthy rich. She's a capitalist, right?
She's a capitalist. Facts.
Beyonce was out here singing single ladies and was happily married.
Man.
Exactly.
Man.
And then made a whole album about getting cheated on, right?
Yeah.
And then it's, so I'm just saying, like, they take it to an extreme. And I'm not saying, you can't love these renegades, but like, you have to be able to separate it.
No, facts.
You know what I mean?
You got to know that's rap. Like, I wasn't trying to live Eminem's life. I wasn't trying to stuff my wife in the trunk.
Right.
Like that, I knew that was just rap song. I vibed to the rap song. I could have left it there.
Right, 100%. So but it's all good.
Straight renegades. I've never heard
I have, but it's been a while.
Straight
renegade. That's a different life.
But wow. I love everyone though. At the end of the day.
Yeah, got to.
All right, so let me ask you this: say you had you've got a 9-figure job that you've had for 25 years.
A
9-figure job. Okay, let's say. I'm sorry.
Yeah, for real.
I'm sorry.
For real.
A 6-figure job.
Okay.
That you've had for 25 years. And your son, your child, is the reason why you lose that job.
I know where you're going with this. I know
You
exactly
still gonna have a lot of love for that kid.
Man,
that's what happened with how this whole Nike thing came about. I don't know if I told you that part. That's how this whole Nike thing came about. So the vice president the GM and vice president of North America for Nike, her son made a crazy purchase for over 600 pairs of rare sneakers on her company card, bro.
It was $130,000.
Yeah.
Worth.
Nike employees can't be connected to no type of resale business or nothing.
Yeah.
Because since she has priority, that purchase is 100% gonna happen. You know how us, we would have to be on time, click it, a raffle system, however.
He put in her number and
he's getting it no matter what, and then he's going and flipping that, making chicken.
Hey, nah,
so
I can't mess with dude. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Kick him out.
But do you think mom?
How old is the kid?
19.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
She's had that job 25 years.
Brother, hey, I'm gonna be honest, and I love my family. Like, I'm big on family. Like, if anybody knows me, I'm big on family. Bro, you have to get away from me for a while.
We can be cordial, but
after a while, no, that's what it's gonna end up being, cordial. Because, bro, I'm the type of person there's every time I'm look at you, that's all I'm gonna think about.
Yeah, and just be mad.
And just be mad and be like, "How? Like, my nigga, I could have gave you. What are you doing this for?"
It makes me think.
How much money was you getting in return?
Did mom know what he was up to?
She had to have. He posts pictures.
That's what I'm saying.
He posted pictures on a convertible with girls
and just blur his face out.
Yeah, 50 pairs. He'd be like this, with females and stuff. I'm like, damn, you bold. And she had to have known.
So how'd he get caught?
There's love, I guess, right?
How'd he get caught? Somebody else from Nike was like, "What's up?"
Honestly, I don't know.
I'm not sure either. I know it has something to do with that purchase, though.
Yeah.
That's too much.
I think he got
greedy.
He had been doing it, and then he made that one big one, and somebody was like, "Hold on, wait a minute."
$100,000.
What does she need those for? They probably know her. She probably rocks like freaking Vapor Maxes.
Or she probably was only getting 1 or 2, maybe 5 pairs a month or whatever. And then he went out and was like, "Fuck it."
Then he spent 100. He spent
Come on,
130 Bandicas.
Yeah, and then you got me fired from. Nah, that's out of bounds. You ain't got no respect for me. That's what that is.
Yeah.
As a parent, you ain't got no respect for me, bro. You got to get out. You got to go away.
So as a parent, you're not gonna try to help your kid
help them with what?
With their business, try to flip shoes or nothing.
No,
with your perks and with your.
I would help my. Oh, they can't be tied to any. No. Oh, well then, I can't.
Well then, not.
Oh, I can't, bro.
Yeah.
You could do anything in this world. You're gonna choose the one thing I can't help you with. Be successful, bro. And I'm gonna give you be successful, bro. You're gonna choose the only thing I can't help you with. Like,
I could have got you
a corporate job.
Anywhere. You could have been right next to me. I make 6 figures for 25 years. Yeah. Name a nigga who would do it. Like, most niggas don't do that.
And see, I wonder if they gotta like give the shoes back, or if like the purchases made. She probably at that point, if it's like that, I'm like, look, we got all these shoes. This is my business now. Like, I run all this.
Probably not the shoes, but they probably got
pay the money back.
Yeah,
off the company card. Yeah.
100%.
And that's what I'm saying. You better make that money plus some, because I need all of that, bro.
You know what's crazy is I had a homie that worked at Nike, and he was doing that. And he was giving us all like the code. And he got caught so quick. So I can only imagine spending $130,000.
The homegirl used to work at Foot Locker. She's the reason I got my fire red 3s. She's the reason I got my and I had to wait in line. I had to rap for nothing. She was like, just pull up at like 3. I'll walk you right in. My boy will go grab it from you at the back. Boom.
I had a homegirl, a real solid homegirl named that worked at Shoe Palace, and she got me the what's the red fours? The alternate 89, I think. She got me
the like velvet red, or was that suede red? I mean.
Nah, they were, or maybe they had alternate 89 on them. I forget what they're called, but she held those for me. And see, that's different. That's especially if you're not getting that shoe. I think a employee is allowed to get one of the releases, so that's a different story. But this fool was doing extras.
That's too much. No way. Can't subscribe.
We're gonna do an extra. The coach for Creighton basketball. You see what he said? See what he said to his team?
What'd he say?
After I forget who they lose to, but that's not important. I be telling myself I'm gonna get more info, but I be trying to just focus on the important part. So they took a loss, right? And I guess during the game he felt like guys were giving up, and he felt like they was gonna like make like them give up on the season and kind of just like roll over and just walk through the rest of the season, right? And he was saying all those players are black. White coach, all those players are black. He said, I need to look at Jesse Lee. And he was like, what the hell did this nigga say? My bad, I didn't do that to you.
He got me. I was like, this nigga better not come out.
Bro, he said something about don't give up. I need everybody, don't leave the plantation. I need everybody to stay on the plantation.
Wait, this was just something that happened recently?
Yeah, just like a few days ago.
He said this to who was he at?
Creighton. Where what's the name from Vista went?
Yeah. What? He thought that was gonna bring the team together?
And he tried to get their attention the wrong way.
And there's an assistant coach that's black. The assistant coach said, I've known this coach for X amount of years. I've never seen, heard, or nothing about him doing anything racist. This is a terrible play. Well, I'm disappointed, and he should have never said that. It's a poor choice of words and all this, that, and the third. Pretty much sticking up for him. Like, I don't know what he would like. And the coach said, like, as soon as he said it, he kind of caught himself like, that I shouldn't have said that. But I've never even heard that as like an expression.
Me neither.
I've heard like we need all hands on deck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I haven't heard nothing don't leave the plantation.
I feel uncomfortable even saying that.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Like, is that a threat?
Most people don't feel comfortable even but like people don't even feel comfortable saying soup plantation.
I've never been.
I ain't gonna lie, they have to fire Chili.
Yeah, I've never been.
That's the one that went out of business, right?
Yeah, went out of business.
Yeah, I had never been there either.
It's funny. Steph used to have a roommate. I guess I won't put him on blast, but Steph used to have a roommate. He's from the East Coast, and he was like, "Yeah, my parents want to come in town, and I'm gonna take them to soup plantation." And Steph was like, your parents are from North Carolina.
It was a black dude too.
Black dude. He was like, they are not about to go nowhere called the Soup Plantation. He's like, no, they got good food, man. I'm telling you. His parents came in and tell him, he's like, yeah, I'm finna take you to the Soup Plantation. His dad was like, you finna take me where?
Man,
I'm going back home. That's crazy.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm ashamed that I used to eat there, but that chili was fire. Can't even lie.
Yeah.
Speaking of racist, Dr. Seuss
man.
canceled 6 of the homies' books. You see it?
Yeah, I seen that.
I've known about Dr. Seuss and all of that because, you know, working in preschool. Actually, I had a black co-worker when I was working preschool, and she put me on it. She was like, yeah, you know how they do Dr. Seuss week every week here at the preschool. That's why I just be sitting in the back. I don't read none of these damn books to the kids and da-da-da-da. I was like, I don't know if it's that serious. And then she pulled up showed me everything. I was like, oh, damn. So, yeah, they finally, and this was in 2014. So this was like 7 years ago. She was telling me this. But yeah, so they finally getting around to canceling old Dr. Seuss. And it's not even the whole collection. It's only 6 books.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
And what I think is super just weird about the situation is it's for children.
Yeah.
So like for him to be weird enough to try to put like subliminal messages in it, it's like,
homie,
that's weird. That's just weird to me. Like,
that's what all Disney is. Disney using kids show for.
Weirdo.
I mean,
no, but you're 100% right.
Yeah, like they just using. That's just not cool anyway, though.
Yeah, it's just
that's
like
not. That's
yeah,
not cool.
it's weird to me. Like in children books, because they knowing that they won't catch on, and knowing that
an adult
parents, but
an adult has to be watching them and seeing this. Yeah,
exactly. And they might even like, for example, Mike when he's reading it to his kids. He might not be tripping off. He might just be reading it and not really processing it. You know what I mean? He might have to read it himself to really like say, "Wait, hold up, this." But while he's reading to his kids and keeping them engaged and telling Billy to turn
looking
around,
at the pictures and stuff. Yeah.
You're not gonna catch it. So I think I'm not a conspiracist or anything, but I think that fool knew all that. Like he played all that, and so he was like, "Oh, well, I'll be able to get away with this shit." And shit, look at him.
Yeah, I don't think it was an accident.
Have you guys ever thought back to a lot of the stuff that you consume, like a lot of the media, like whether it was like movies or books or whatever that you consumed as a kid, and like, and how like the undertones, like the subtle things that they put in there, like how like any of it sticks with you or stuck with you now? Because like I've thought, like when she showed me that, I thought about that, and I think about like all the stuff that's in like the Disney movies and stuff, and I think about like and then also I seen this dude posted a meme of like all the it was like black, not black, nothing black, but it was like the like female villains from like Disney movies, and they were all like pretty, but like mad sassy and rude and stuff like that. He was like, no wonder I like bitches with attitude. And I was like, man, like, and it was just funny to me, but it made me like really think about like everything that you know what I'm saying, that we was consuming, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
whether it's like Disney movies, all the dads dying, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that, like.
Yeah, I not that I could think of the top, but yeah, I think that's definitely something relevant.
It for sure happens, I feel.
Yeah. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but one thing that one movie that, it's not a Disney movie, but one movie that I always like bring up in conversations like this is Grease. Grease is one of the, it's not a kids movie necessarily, but they show on ABC.
Yeah.
That's a family channel. You know what I mean? Right. That is one of the most raunchiest, dirtiest movies. The shit they say, I'm like, this little city was a freaking leak. Are you serious? Like, that shit is crazy, bro. That shit is crazy. But I think about that a lot. Because my sister had like a little sing-along. So I was watching Grease hella young. She was singing it. She was like, come on, sissy. If you watching this, she was like 15 singing that shit. And I was just like, but you don't think about it until you like learn those words and learn those little innuendos. And you're like,
wait, I've heard that from somewhere.
Right.
Freaking Did y'all see some of the stuff that they said was like racial?
Can you please read some of that?
Yeah, the book.
I didn't see those.
Let me see. In a statement on Tuesday, Dr. Seuss Enterprise said that he had decided last year to end publication and licensing on the books by Theodore Seuss. The titles include his first book, writing under the pen name Dr. Seuss, and To Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, and If I Ran the Zoo. These books portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Let me see. The other books that will no longer be published are McElligot's Pool. I never read that one. On Beyond Zebra. Never read that one. Scrambled Egg Super. Never read that one. And The Cat's Quizzer.
I'm gonna be honest, I never read any of those.
Me neither.
I read Green Eggs and Ham and Up
There we go.
Those
books
Oh,
are
I know the places you can go.
I was about to say, when kids graduate preschool, they get the, all the places you'll go book and all of that.
Yeah.
And To Think I Saw It on Mulberry Street, a character described as a Chinaman.
Yeah.
Has lines for eyes, wears a pointed hat, and carries chopsticks and a bowl of rice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he was out of pocket.
Hella.
He was super out of pocket.
He drew a straight line.
I wonder, I really enjoy history, so I wonder if when he was writing those, because I don't know how old or when he was born or whatever, but I wonder if he was writing those if Chinese internment camps or something, like the Chinese Exclusion Act.
Mm. And that's just how they were depicted.
Yeah, for sure. Anybody with any type of ties to Asian culture was automatically, because that's when we went into World War II. That's because the bombing, right? So when anybody would come over here with any ties to Asia, they were like, "Nah, you guys got us in this war, pretty much."
So maybe that's why people don't know about it by and large, because it's not like the popular books.
Yeah, and that makes it even more weird.
It says in I 5 Ran the Zoo, 2 characters from the African island of Yurka are depicted as shirtless, shoeless, and resembling monkeys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do know them. I like what those look like. Those characters. I think they only have shorts on. I think I do remember striped shorts. I think.
I kind of, but I don't know. I for sure remember the Chinese man though, with the bowl of rice.
That's weird. Fuck that fool.
Crazy. That's real though. Get him out of here.
Yeah,
but no, I think and I was talking to Derek and talking to my mom about it. It makes me think about the shows that we enjoyed growing up, whether it was Fresh Prince or not Boy Meets World, but like Smart Guy, and especially a show like Smart Guy, how I didn't appreciate it at the time. I just enjoyed that it was black people on TV that I could watch, but you didn't really appreciate it for what it was. Like now, when I watch it back now, the principal of the school was black. The episode when they made the Roofer Man commercial and they got it played during the Super Bowl. The lady that ran the network, she was black. When TJ thought he thought he was an enemy of the state and the CIA was looking for him, the agents that came to the door was 2 black dudes. Everybody in that show was black.
Yeah.
Except the people that they didn't like when the teacher that set up Mo for burning down the science room, white dude. You know what I'm saying? The lady that had what's the name, following people around the store. When the sister got the job, white lady. You know what I'm saying? But all the people that was a prominence that you needed to respect and was in charge of something were black people. Yeah. And as a kid, you don't even really think about it or don't even really notice it and appreciate it. But now watching it back, he's like, I'm glad Baron watches this shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's dope.
Hell yeah.
On top of the fact that he's a single black father that owns his own business and owns his home.
That's what I was about to say. Him being a single father that's there and providing a good life.
Putting his kids through college and stuff.
Yeah.
And didn't leave his woman. His woman died. You know what I'm saying? He's a widower. You know what I mean?
And what I think is sick too about having your son watch it, now you can not give him foreign lectures, but be like, hey, Baron, you see the 2 FBI agents? Yeah. Do you want to do that? You know what I mean? They're doing it. I think that's cool to be able to come back and give that to someone.
Absolutely.
That knowledge.
Absolutely. Because you think about that they always talk about the Cosby Show as being that show that was the dad's a doctor, the mom's a lawyer, and even that was you didn't think it was impossible, but it was I was it felt like it was reachable, but it was hard as hell. Smart Guy looked like you could
possibly do that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't born a genius, but outside of all that, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that's crazy.
I wrote a couple children's books when I was teaching preschool.
For real?
Never got them published. I keep telling myself I'm gonna talk to Lorenzo because he wrote a book. I've been always talking to him about going through his publisher and all of that. But I still plan to.
I knew that. I knew you wrote those books. I did know that.
It's crazy.
I don't know what else I got for y'all, man. Oh, I want to talk. I don't know if y'all go that deep about the purchases y'all make as I do, but do you guys do you think about the person or the company or the people that you're buying from before you buy things?
Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't it make it so much harder to buy stuff?
Yeah.
And it's frustrating, but it's a frustration that I'm cool with living with. But I'm bringing that up because I've been trying to find like different like. Anyway, I've been like looking for more gear, like more stuff to wear, right? And especially because I got like a new show that I'm working on. I want some new clothes for it. And I wanted to get like some Negro League hats. Mm-hmm. And I look on the website, and the first hat that I see that I like is an A, like a red foam trucker hat with an A on there. And I look up the name of the team, and it's the Atlanta Black Crackers.
How they do that anyway?
The Atlanta Black Crackers, right? I'm like, I can't wear this damn hat.
That was a team?
Yeah. And then I had that same exact reaction, right? And I told my mom, I told my wife, I'm like, see, I can't even wear this hat. And I paused for a minute. I'm like, hold up. I can't imagine white people started calling black people black crackers.
That's
as a way to demean them.
Yeah.
Because they're playing a white sport.
Yeah.
And you would be calling them yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can't imagine you're saying that to put them down. So I got to do the history on that. So the history on it was like an animal, like you're cracking the whip on an animal, like you're keeping everything in line.
In order, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you're like a cracker, somebody who keeps everything in line.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was
Crack the whip.
Exactly. And there was a baseball team, but you can imagine where that may have started with. Not may have started with, but what else they was cracking whips on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there was a white baseball team called the Atlanta Crackers. And then when the minor league started, and this was one of the best teams in the league, so they just started calling them the Black Crackers. And I was like, I can't wear that hat. I was like, I don't want to have to tell that story. But like, well, that hat is fresh. What is that? It's the Atlanta Black Crackers. What? Do you have on your head, nigga?
Let me tell you the story. Nah, that's out of bounds.
But I already been like,
Let me explain.
Yeah. And like I've said on here before, I've for a couple of years now, I've been a lot more intentional with how I spend my money. And even if it's not black owned, it's not going to be no big old label, and I'm not going to be a commercial on a billboard for nobody. Yeah. But just in trying to make sure everything that I do wear that does have a label on it somewhere is black owned, it does make it harder. And then like seeing that, it was like, that blew my mind, bro. Yeah, like the Black Crackers.
That's super tough. Isn't that crazy? I thought it was real.
Yeah, that is crazy. And it's crazy that they was just comfortable with just throwing that shit around. And that was the name of the team.
Atlanta Black Crackers.
Sold merchandise under that name.
On my grandpa's, my dad got a copy of like the census from when my dad or my grandpa. So my dad got a census of his family, right? Yeah. Of his dad, and on his dad's race it says Negro.
Really?
Yeah, that was crazy to look at. Like to know that was just real.
Yeah.
That was super crazy to look at.
When my dad was born in '62. I'm not sure how old his biological father was when he had him, but that just can give you a gauge of, you know what I'm saying. For sure. When my dad's dad died, I remember we went to Long Beach to go to my granny's house because she was like preparing, you know, it's her first husband, so she's like preparing everything. You know what I'm saying? And she's looking at the marriage license, and she was like, "Dang, y'all, this is back when they called us colors." Like her marriage license
said colors.
And my grandpa's birth certificate says Negro as well.
Wow. So crazy.
My granny, I think will be 80 this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when she got married in like her mid to late 20s, still calling black people colors.
Yeah, that's.
And they don't want to say it happened so long ago. Get over it.
It's really not.
It's really not. And see, y'all, Trez, no, I'm real big into comedy. If you listen to podcast man, Joe Rogan, one of his stand-ups, he talks about. He was like, think about it. People live into their 80s. Slavery was 300 years ago. That's 3 people ago. Yeah. They really think about it. That's 3 people ago. And they were like, oh, just get over it. Like, no, bro. That just happened to my grandpa. Like,
exactly.
Like, just happened.
There's a picture. There's a picture of my great-grandparents in front of their freaking slave house.
It's crazy.
Like, they're not like the master's house, but like their little shack. Right in the back. They have a picture in front of it. Yes, my dad has that picture.
That's dope that you guys still have that. Not dope that, you know.
No, yeah.
But the fact that you guys still have that is dope.
For sure, yep.
That it's made it this long.
Great-grandparents, yeah. It's crazy.
I want to do that. I want to do the African ancestry and see what I am and all of that. And I've wanted to do it for the longest time. Never forget, I had just got married. I was like pulling up to So I never forget. I just punched the code in our complex. You know, we had the gate. Just punched it in. The door was with me. Going to my house to smoke and watch the game. And I forget how we got to it. We were just talking about like black and white and like the society and everything. And I said something about, I was like, yeah, because you know every black person got a little bit of white in them. He was like, not me. And he looked at me with like so definitive and with so much pride, like, nigga, maybe you, but not me, nigga.
Yeah.
I chose to come here. Y'all was bright. And I remember like I took it as disrespect in the moment. But I remember like, again, that goes to my point of like, nigga, just because that is true for me don't mean you got to be disrespected by you. You know what I mean? He just got pride and like, no, fam, my family chose to come here.
Yeah.
We're straight African black, nigga. And ever since then, I was like, I need to do the ancestry and see exactly what I am.
Yeah, that is crazy. I like talking to like my older family members. We a lot of our family is supposedly from has roots in Haiti.
Really?
And so I'm curious to see where part of Africa they're from. You know, because obviously it's not Haiti.
Yeah.
So I remember as a kid, I remember my dad saying his side, like his mom's side, is from the West Indies, but that's
from trade.
That exactly, and that's not even definitive. That's just him saying that.
Yeah, they think that it's from Guinea, New Guinea. That's in Africa. I don't know what part of Africa, but it's New Guinea. Guinea people.
And I mean, my last name is Rhone. You know, the Rhone River is an actual place. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it got to be some type of.
Yeah, that's sick.
You know what I mean? So, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that's crazy.
What about you?
My sister did the Ancestry.com.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, she did that shit. Found out we had an uncle I didn't know about. So yeah, that was kind of interesting.
That's dope.
That's cool. Super cool.
Teach his own.
Find out a whole bunch of people related. I remember Uncle Clarence said that to us at our reunion in Georgia. He was like, "Cause I mean, it's a lot of history we gotta do. Our family's really big. You never know." He was like, and I don't say this to be like nasty or funny. You might mess around and date your cousin. Like our family is huge. I was like, damn.
Man, my mom's part of her family lives in. They're mainly from New Mexico, and there's this town in New Mexico. It's a really small town called Willard. And my aunt, or my great aunt, excuse me, has lived there her whole life. She just passed away last February. She was like 92, I think. She had 22 kids.
Whoa.
So I'm like somehow related to damn near all of Willard. Not sound like a dirtbag, but last year I went to my great uncle's funeral, and so I was in there, and the reason why I took it is I took my grandma. My grandma struggles with walking and stuff, so I took her, for obvious reasons, because she was super close to her uncle. And so I was there in the hotel, and I was bored, dog. Like, I'm 22 years old. I was 21 at the time. I was like, man. So I went on Tinder, and I was like matching with girls, and I was like, damn, what if I'm related to these girls? So I just left it alone.
He said, all right, close that.
No, but yeah, so, man. I feel you on that. The big family. I feel on that.
I remember the homegirl. I mean, maybe I'll just bleep her name out. But the homegirl Brienne. I guess I just won't say her last name. But I told my dad like he came one time. I was kicking it with her and like trying to chop it up with her a little bit. She know I had a crush on her back in the day. But I remember like showing my dad like, oh, it's the homegirl Brienne, and I said just for whatever reason just said her full name. And he was like, oh really? I was like, oh yeah, her people from Detroit. Like my dad is originally from Detroit. He was like, really? We got some family with that last name in Detroit. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah, like a lot too. I was like, for real? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh damn,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, X that one off.
Ask questions later. I'm just kidding.
Out of fucking pocket.
I'm just kidding.
Nah, but
from the South.
Shit.
Your roots are from the South?
Yeah.
New Orleans,
yeah.
For real? That's sick. I have my aunt lives in New Orleans. My aunt has two.
Yeah, my dad is from New Orleans.
Nice.
From Holly Grove.
Nice. I want to go to New Orleans when it's back normal.
Definitely want to go to Mardi Gras.
Yeah. For sure.
Hey, we gonna have to bust a move, man. I was kicking it with after we did a dad power door. He trying Trying to do a Vegas mission one time whenever it's possible.
Oh shoot, man, that'd be dope.
Yeah,
that'd be dope.
Definitely need
have
to.
Trev go too.
That would be super.
That'd
fun.
be dope.
I'm so down.
Definitely with that.
That'd be fun. Yeah. Hell yeah.
We could put that play together.
Get a nice Airbnb, nice big one.
Yeah, we could put that play together.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get out of
cool.
here, did y'all know there was a Women's History Month? I feel like a real scumbag not knowing that. I feel like if I had a daughter, I might know that. But
I did. I only knew that because of Instagram, to be honest.
But did you know before this year?
Nope.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Maybe not. No. I literally just saw like maybe a week ago that it was coming up.
I don't think I've ever known about a Women's History Month, bro.
And it's March.
Mm-hmm.
Which is weird because, not weird, but the month that they were, like the women's right to vote was ratified was in August.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of weird. Isn't that crazy? They were barely. Last year was 100 years that they were able to vote. 1920.
What is that? 1.5 person ago?
Oh yeah, right. Wait,
Old white men are crazy, bro. That's what it boils down to.
Man.
Old white men are trip.
From 1920. I remember my English teacher, shout out Mr. Solocool. That fool was dope.
Yeah, he was.
He would make you think, and he asked the ladies in our class. He was like, "Are you okay with that? Like the 1920? Like, are you just cool? That you like that's that? You're not gonna speak up for like just that's whatever." I was like, damn. Like he was sick. That was the best teacher.
I love teachers like that, man.
Bro, Mr. Solocool was literally probably one of the. Other than this one teacher I had in Chico, they're like the best teacher I've ever had, hands down. He was I keep in touch with him till this day, all the time.
Silvical?
Yeah.
Well, that's what's up.
So, I'll tell you a funny story.
I wanted to catch his fade during a football game. I'll tell that story after you.
So he had this thing called Free Speech Friday, right? So I had it when I was in a junior. So what, 2016, 2015? And Mike knows me. Mike the biggest Nipsey fans ever. Don't get it twisted. So that was when FDT first came out.
Okay.
So maybe it was 2016 because maybe he won't say the name, but the guy, the demon, was either running or had just got inaugurated.
Mm-hmm.
So they came out with FDT, and I played that for Free Speech Friday. Cause like I said, it was free speech. He didn't care. Like that's that teacher he was. He was sick.
Dope. You dope for that.
So if you wanted to play something, you get on his computer and you play on his projector, music, bumping and everything. You know what I mean? And that fool caught the Nipsey bug after that.
Yeah.
He loved it. Got a Crenshaw he had a marathon shirt. He caught the Nipsey bug.
That is so cool.
And because I would stay there after class because I had him the last period of the day, and I would stay there. And I think the reason why me and him fucked with each other so much is because I've always thought I'm not different. I don't want to be that motherfucker. I think different. But I always thought ahead and thought more mature thoughts than my peers. I feel.
No, that's true.
Yeah, and then so me and him would talk, and I would tell him the reason why I was so to keep it a buck and factually fucking Nipsey is because the way he thought and the shit he would say, all those interviews that resurface. And I sound like a fucking but I've been seen those when I was fucking 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I heard Nipsey, I'll never forget, was when my cousin CEO picked me up from Rincon. I was 6th grade and he was playing I Don't Give a Fuck. I was telling him a beat, that's one. And when he dropped me, I was like, who was that? He said Nipsey, and ever since then I was hooked. And so, anyways, after class, me and Soko, I would bring up these interviews and I would show him these interviews and we would just dissect it and I would just say do you see this fool? He thinks differently. He thinks longevity.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, ever since then he loves Nipsey. He always sends me lyrics and shit. Or send me screens I'm at the gym bummed. I'm getting sick pumped. playing fucking day roll by him in the game and shit.
Silvical's dope.
Cool.
To catch his fade during a Ramona game, I was playing DB. And this dude every time the receiver would always come off and get a late the camera off. The receiver would come off and get a late hit on me. Every time, and the ref wouldn't see it. I'm telling the ref, I'm telling the coach, and they just I'm telling him, he's all right, tell the ref. Tell the ref, and the ref don't do nothing. I keep telling my coach, somebody do something about this. You just let this nigga hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And they was finally all right, the ref ain't doing, what you gonna keep crying? You gonna play through it? And now like the dude like he start calling me a nigger, like white dude, right? And he keep getting it off, bro. He says it like 3 times, and I'm like, and this is back then. I had like I've never been a big dude or could fight or nothing like that, but I had like a little temper, and I like it flared from time to time. You know what I'm saying?
For that.
Especially when you competing, and especially for that. You know what I'm saying? And it finally came down to like I'm playing blocker. Jesse was punt return. I'm playing blocker like the wideouts, and soon as height goes right, and he knew it was getting in my head, and I knew that he knew it, but it was such a trigger for me at that time. You know what I'm saying? Go! Soon as the ball snaps, he said nigger, check me, and it just starts sprinting down the field for Jesse, right? And I'm already thinking like, you called me a nigger, and I missed my assignment, and my nigga finna get blasted because he's looking up. You know what I'm saying? So I run, I catch up to him. And I like he tackles Jesse, but I make it where like Jesse don't get blown up, right? And I like get a cheap shot on him, hit him hard as shit, like after the whistle, right? Get a flag, get a penalty. I go off to the side, and so cool. It's like grabs me by the face, and I was like, "Ron, what are you doing? We don't need that right now." Da, da, da. It's like I told you, he's calling me a nigger. So cool. You know you're not a nigger though, right? With his white ass.
What?
But you know you're not a nigger though, right? And I'm like. I just turn around like I'm looking for. We the only 2 black people on the team. I'm turning around looking for Jesse like this. Did anybody hear me?
He's out of pocket for that.
Yeah,
he meant well, but he should not have said that.
And then he even tried to come up to me like during the game and like, cause he knew it was over the line. But I think it was one of those like just like how these challenger girls like just 1920. You're cool with that?
Yeah.
I think it was like okay, like it's pissing you off. Okay, whatever. Play the game. I think that's what he was trying to do, but don't say the word. You know what I'm saying? And so like even during the game, he came up to me and was trying like, "Hey Mike," and I was like, "Nah, watch out, man. Like, you said it already. Like, watch out." And I finally like after the game, I let him like apologize and we got past it. And we cool, like you know what I'm saying? We was cool, like never held no grudges, nothing like that. When he said it though, I was like, man, if I could hit a teacher, it would be right now for him. Absolutely. Absolutely. Shit, I'm glad I told that story. That was my story for the day. Shit.
Oh, yeah. What about the other time about school? You could learn.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm glad you said that. If you could learn, that's what I was about to say. If you could learn it, and we'll do this question and we'll get up out of here. What's one thing you didn't learn in school that you wish you did?
Finances. Like, credit, finances. And they should teach more about the stock market, how it works, what it's set up for, what its design and purpose is. You know what I mean?
I like that for sure. If for me, it would be so when I went to Chico, there was these what do you call them, like not classes, but they were extra classes you could sign up for where a guest speaker presentations, I guess, where you can go. Sign up, and it was only limited to like the first like 50 to 100, depending on what the topic was. Is first 50 to 100 people can sign up and go into this conference room and hear this guest speaker. And they would do. It was basically it was called, the main title was Life 101, and then like all the umbrella titles. There was one like what to do if you get a flat tire, but it wasn't just a flat tire. It was everything about a car. You know what I mean? Different things like, and not just how to like. And that wasn't an auto shop class. It was like, when you need to pay your tags, what this means, what that means, how to finance a car, how to, shit like that. There was
everything about cars.
Yeah. There was a credit one, and I was in this first generation program, and we got priority to sign up. So the only one I went to was a stress 101 class. And man, when I was in there, I was like, this is so valuable. Like so valuable to any student. I was like, if they would have had like not even a full semester class, but just like a 4-week course or something in high school, I think that would have helped out a lot of kids. What did it touch on? It just taught how to deal with stress, and that you're not the only one stressing about this certain thing. And go find other people that are stressing about this too, and you guys can work with each other to get through it. And different breathing techniques, different things to touch or like grab, like just stuff like that. And because the guest speaker, she was super sick. She was like, people don't give college students or high school students, or they don't give students, period, enough like not credit, but like credit for what they do and like what
school.
Yeah,
for
what they do on the daily basis, especially for people that are far. I was 8.5 hours from home, right? So like, especially people that can't just go home when they run into an issue at school. She was like, everybody says like, everybody's favorite phrase is, "What do you have to worry about? You're just in school. All you have to do is go to school and have friends."
Yeah, that's the worst line.
Yeah, and she would say that, and I think that if you had that in high school, like it would save a lot of people, a lot of. Like I said, it would save like travesties, you know, because you hear about kids in high school like, you know, doing crazy stuff. I think it would help out a lot, for sure. I think that would be a sick.
I know somebody like who would fall in that category because they were filled the stress of interviewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of going to the interview. So that very, very first one was like almost a panic attack every time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? To where they would lose certain jobs, great jobs, because they're just so nervous and so scared.
Yep.
That, you know, that they would settle or go for something smaller.
Yep.
It's just crazy. I see where that will come in handy. Because that's also a lot of reason why some people don't bother of doing homework.
Yeah.
Or don't bother studying because of the stress and pressure of passing and doing all this and still failing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And maybe just a life 101, like, kind of what they had at my school, a life 101 course that every like 3 weeks they would switch it up, like you said, do something on credit for 3 weeks. Because you can only teach that for so long, for
sure.
2 hours a day, right?
Facts.
So like do a stress segment, do a credit segment. Honestly, like to keep it $150, do a real sexual education class, like a real one. And who knows, maybe you might see high school pregnancies go down. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think the sex that they do right now is a bunch of bull. No one pays attention, no one, you know. But if you were to really have to sit down and get graded on this shit, like, and really pay attention to this 3-week course, you know, I think it would be more valuable. It's just my 2 cents.
You know, everybody got 2 cents.
That is like how like not I don't want to say relevant, but they still do sex ed.
Yeah, some little weak ass 30-minute little lecture. Do you remember yours?
Mine was a week long.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, but I went to O'Farrell though in Southeast.
I remember the one we got in middle school was longer than high school.
Oh, I didn't get one in high school at all.
Oh.
High school at all. I got. Huh?
I didn't get one.
I got one in 6th grade. And it was a week. It was a week long. It was a week long.
I'm thinking
I
of
didn't
health.
get one.
They touched on it a little bit in health class. But yeah, you're right. The week long one I got in high school or middle school too, and it was only like it wasn't a week long. It was like 3 days. And they showed us pictures of like herpes, and everybody said ew.
But I think for me, my experience was like that because I had a teacher that was like what he was into was like reproduction and he like the body and like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was into all of that. He was the same dude that I told you that he told us like, I'm telling you, when your body's changing, lift weights, you have muscles forever. That's the same dude that gave us that week long sex ed course.
That's crazy.
I think middle school is too young to even be teaching that anyways. Not that
that's when your body starts changing. I think that's a good time.
Yeah.
Because when your body starts changing, you're gonna start trying to do things with it.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, that's true. That's true. Not that they can't. Not that middle schoolers can't handle it. I mean, but I think that you're more liable to start blasting shit in high school. But I don't know.
Right.
I mean, I don't know.
What you said is true. Just the terminology you chose is funny.
Blasted shit.
So insert.
Bro, you can say whatever you want. It's cool.
No, I'm just laughing at it. It's just a funny term.
Dang, what? Would you guys give your teenagers condoms?
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
1000%.
Because you can't stop it. So if they already doing it and you guys are on that level having that conversation.
I can't really have this conversation with y'all. That's a conversation I really want to have with kids who grew up like in the church, so like defend like strictly like we did. Because I don't want to say it for me because I had a dope sex ed course and just how the knowledge I got was real beneficial for me. I don't know how exactly I got all of it, but it really helped me. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, because my mom was like her sister was telling, like, you need to give your boys condoms. And my mom, or my parents being Christian and being church, was like, we teaching no sex. So if we giving them condoms, we basically telling them, like, giving them a license to go and use it. Like, why am I going to give you something I don't expect you to use? Yeah. If I hand you these drumsticks and I don't ever expect you to use a drumstick, if I give you this camera, you ain't never going to take a picture. You know what I'm saying? And so my mom was like, no, I'm not going to give them condoms because, you know what I'm saying? And so with that, because you're not ever teaching your kids, you're always teaching your teenagers not to have sex. And so you're not going to have the whole sex talk. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that can hinder and can hurt.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if your kid is curious. You know what I mean? You got a curious kid, you got to handle that kid accordingly.
So I know a girl, I won't say her name or her dad's name, obviously, but I know a girl, her dad's my dad's homie. Her mom, and in church, there's like, they have something like for women, it's called a purity class, and it teaches about like keeping your body sacred and about all of that. The pastor's wife was like the teacher and like the leader of the purity class, and they daughter had a kid in high school. Yeah. And I think it could have something to do with that. Like, we don't have in-depth conversations about that. I
agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I 100% agree. They could have, you know, maybe possibly
change that.
Yeah. Maybe not, you know.
And I mean, and again,
possibly.
you know what's right and what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I don't want to make it like that. Like, when you get to a certain age, you know what's right.
You're gonna make the right decision.
Right, but still, I feel like it could potentially be.
But if you have that in your head, always like use a rubber. You know what I mean? You might be more you might have less chances of you know, being in a situation like that. You know what I mean? Whereas they're just saying no sex. She might not have even known. You know what I mean? What to do? She might have thought that she can only get pregnant at certain times, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And believe me, in working with kids for as long as I did, I know for a fact 3 girls that said, Mr. Mike, it was my first time, and I'm gonna be having a baby.
Yeah.
3 girls, bro.
Man, oh man.
My mom's been crying for weeks. It's my first time, and I got a baby coming, and I'm 17.
Yeah.
The first time, fam. Could you imagine that? That make a nigga want not even happy. I ain't happy I don't have any girls, bro. Yeah. Goodness gracious. I didn't answer the question though, but for me, I think I would have learned real estate. I would try to maybe learn real estate, because I think with real estate, like, you learn, you know what I'm saying, about property value, how to flip, how to sell. Not all of it, but you know the basics of it, and then also you learn. I feel like you learn a little bit about credit, because you need to have your credit to a certain point to get a house and to get a loan and all that.
You got to know finances on interest rates.
And at least to a certain extent, you know what I'm saying? So you'll start, and that could maybe spark your interest to even go even further into that. But I know, like, real estate, it's going to get you some money as well as knowledge. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's how it would be for that one. Man. But I don't know if I would have had the endurance to stick it out though, because I'm a creator, bro. Like, I can't, anything that requires me to sit and focus on one thing for too long, and I don't really get anxiety, but things that make it where, like, okay, I know I'm gonna be sitting at this desk looking at this screen and doing this paperwork. Like, bro, when I used to have to do that as a supervisor, that's why I never got shit done, because as soon as the kids came, like, oh yo, we playing ping pong, we dodgeball, what we doing? And I would never get my paperwork done, because I'm like, I need to be up doing something.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
You need to be moving. You're not a what is it?
Left brain or whatever.
Yeah.
Or right brain. I don't know.
What's the other word? I'm trying to get the right before I say it. An introvert. Not an introvert.
Oh no. Yeah. I've become less extroverted as I've gotten older, and I've like experienced things, and like I guess like things have hurt me. I've become less extroverted, but I could never be an introvert.
Yeah.
Never.
That was kind of the reason why I switched over to the CIS major.
I feel it.
Yeah.
I think that's all we got for him today, man. We gave him a good hour and 20 minutes.
Not bad. I like it.
Yeah, man.
Very good talk.
Anything else you want to talk about, man? We're going to get Mike here next time, man.
Oh, yeah. And we'll have some good talk. That was crazy.
I know he is. And I was going to tell him, well, now you've been on the podcast for him. I was going to say, this time he could at least see that you was cool and kicking it. I feel like sometimes Mike be too, like thinking too much.
Yeah, thinks about it way too much. That's
just be in the room, bro. Just chill and be in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Relax.
That's my guy.
I move my legs because I'm weird.
That's my guy.
Yeah,
man, it was a good one. I appreciate you falling back through, man.
Yeah, you know, appreciate it.
How long have you, Mike? Too long. Man. Too fucking long. Me too.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I think, based on like who you said you used to have a crush on, I think I met you back in like 2007, bro.
Yeah.
07, 08 maybe.
And I was born in 99.
That's what I'm saying. He was like 8.
Yeah, I've known you, for
he was
long ass time.
Dumb small, yeah, for sure.
Crazy. Now we're sipping
you feel me?
Yeah, tycoon. So now we spit on tycoon.
No, it was crazy. What's that? 08 to now, what's that? 15 years?
Yeah.
16, 15, 16.
08 to 21. Oof. Years is.
Man, years are going by.
Damn, tell me about it.
Started March.
Tell me about it.
I know, it's already March in 2021.
I said that's my mom just said that was March 2021. Or even just thinking back to y'all playing basketball, bro. Like, feels like a long ass time ago.
Yeah, it does.
The CAF championship. Mm-hmm. That should seem like forever ago.
Yeah. Good times.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're gonna get Mike. We're gonna get Mike back and we're gonna get into all of that too, man. FamilyRoom Podcast, episode 76. I'm Mike Rome.
Jesse Williams.
My guy Trev, thanks for calling through. He said, I got this, don't even worry about it. We appreciate y'all, man. Keep rocking with us. We out.
Let's go.